stepped into the Ian Bowyer midfield role, is still 18. The average age 22, the total cost less than United paid for Brian Robson. And they're unchanged despite that mini disaster, as Brian Clough called it, at Main Road. It's a new pitch here, and it's still in need of heavy watering to bind it together, particularly on the near side. It's a damp but mild afternoon. Ian Story-Moore, this meeting between your two old clubs, how do you see this one going?
Well, I've had the opportunity of seeing Nottingham Forest play on quite a number of occasions this season, and they're playing extremely well. They had a slight indiscretion against Manchester City on Wednesday night, but I'm sure they'll bounce back from that, knowing Brian Clough. I watched the televised game between Manchester United and West Ham last Sunday on TV, and although I thought that Manchester United looked a very efficient and organised side, I thought they perhaps lacked a little bit of flair and improvisation that may be needed to win championships and trophies.
Do you think the youth of Forest will be more of a disadvantage as the season goes on?
Well, I don't think so. I think Brian Clough, he relies on youth to some extent, and he certainly knows how to motivate them. Whether he's motivated them enough after having a bad performance at Main Road on Wednesday night, I don't know. It'll be interesting to observe whether they can cope with the atmosphere here today.
Referee John Deakin is having a good week. He's in the RAF. He was promoted to the rank of warrant officer on Monday, and now he's refereeing at Old Trafford for the first time. Two sides here with a special interest in Liverpool's show of vulnerability in midweek. Forest in their change strip of white shirts and dark shorts, and a promising early break for them, which saw Neil Webb coming in on the cross, which was delivered by Paul Wilkinson. Brian Robson taking the free kick quickly. Anderson, who won a championship medal with Forest back in 1978. Forest have won their last 5 league games without conceding a goal. Foster. Colin Foster was substituted at Main Road in midweek because he was having a bad time, and not because he was injured, as some viewers thought. Forest have won here twice in the last 4 league visits, on one occasion when their scorers were Anderson and Davenport. Steve Chettle keeping an eye on Jesper Olsen. Gibson, the scorer of United's goal at West Ham last Sunday, in a match that everybody connected with this club feels they should have won. And really that's been the most disappointing feature about Manchester United's play this season. They've only been beaten once, but they've won 6 and drawn 6, and it's been the inability to turn those draws into victories which has left them a little bit behind Liverpool and Queen's Park Rangers at this stage. No damage to Olsen. And Kevin Moran making his way forward for the free kick. Anderson is making a run around the penalty spot. Moran coming in behind him. I think it was Anderson who got there first. He's chipped in with valuable goals for Forest in the past, of course, and for Arsenal more recently. And that was very close. Olsen. Gibson's crossed. Foster got into the right place. Corner was prevented by Chettle. Obstruction by the 19-year-old on Colin Gibson. It's all Manchester United down their left-hand side at the moment. Moran, McLeod. Well, Forest will be concerned at the way Manchester United are winning the headers in their penalty area at the moment. That was Kevin Moran, and McClare couldn't get enough on the shot. Robson broadening the build-up. Olsen, Gibson's gone ahead of him. And Olsen looks to take the inside route. White side. It's flicked in a promising way for Manchester United. Maybe Gibson could do the same. Or white side again. Davenport. A gap that was plugged by Foster for Forest. Forest have already shown their potential as a side that can break. It's Rice finding Carr. 4 players in the middle, and it struck an arm, but not intentionally. The arm belonged to Kevin Moran. John Deacon, the referee, was very close to the incident and had no doubts, despite the roar from 1 or 2 Forest fans close to the incident. Chettle. Again, an authoritative punch by Gary Walsh. Carr slips Robson, who then impeded him. No policy of containment here by Nottingham Forest. And again, they turn on the referee. It was an arm raised. The Forest players certainly thought, as the ball was played in, that a cluster of players there had a hand go up. Nothing given. Walker, glanced on by Webb. In from Rice. It's Carr. He was denied by Moran. Foster. Now Webb. Off the bar. And a goal kick. Neil Webb close to crowning that little spell of Forest pressure with the opening goal. Foster couldn't really do much with the ball, but help it on. And a little dink onto the top of the bar from Neil Webb. That's Walker's, but Sutton was aware that he could reclaim it. Des Walker was overconfident then. I think he knew the measure of Peter Davenport in terms of speed. Was happy to turn away, but that was the difficult point for him when he lost his balance, and then Sutton was very grateful that the back pass wasn't hit any harder. Garton. Again, United being pushed into hitting it long. Forest, by and large, are dealing with that quite comfortably until the header goes astray from Foster. Olsen. Gibson galloping up outside him. Whiteside joining McClare in the middle, and the understanding on the left for United not working on that occasion. Carr, Wilkinson is clear, it's a clear chance, it's a goal for Nottingham Forest, for Paul Wilkinson, which you can trace back to United giving the ball away at the other end of the field. Wilkinson got free from Carr's pass, and as Walsh rushed out, he could do nothing about it. 27 minutes played. And Nottingham Forest, so effective away from home in the First Division, have struck the first blow here. From the player they signed from Everton. His 5th goal of the season. Well, over the years, the club teams have counter-attacked to great purpose as they did then. But Manchester United have a corner. The value of speed on the break most clearly shown, and speed of thought as well as speed of movement. Sutton's in trouble, but only because he was fouled. The corner curving back in towards Steve Sutton. And Davenport seemed to be jumping for the ball, but with an arm trailing. Anderson. For the second time in a matter of seconds, Walker was in too quickly for Manchester United, but Webb playing his team into trouble. And who's there again but Des Walker? Well, he got himself out of it, but only just. A clear belief in his own ability Des Walker has. At times it could make it very difficult for the manager watching from the touchline, but the talent is there without any shadow of doubt. Interception from Carr. Here's McClare. And Rice couldn't get there. Anderson looking to have a run at Pearce, get beyond him. It was a good idea, not quite executed. Garton at the near post. And he flicked it on. And I wonder how that didn't go in. Because from the moment the first touch was made, it seemed only to need a second and final touch to bring United level. Anderson, in fact, headed against his own player. That was unlucky. Whiteside. Harris by Terry Wilson. Robson gambled that Whiteside would get the ball. That's a lovely pass for Peter Davenport. And for Olsen. Duxbury. Robson would rather get it on the left foot. Has! And it didn't curve enough. He played a huge part earlier in the move and really deserved the right to finish it. Olsen had the first strike. Duxbury unselfishly looked for his captain. The little jink took him past Wilson, but the ball went past the post. Maybe a measure of the first half that two of the better Manchester United chances went to Viv Anderson. Brian Robson came close near the end, but the one goal, almost a Nottingham Forest classic really, in that they caught their opponents yet again with a swift breakaway, with Franz Carr, after a mistake between Gibson and Olsen at the other end of the field. Carr picked out Wilkinson, and here at Old Trafford, Nottingham Forest lead Manchester United 1-0 at half-time. Manchester United trailing to Nottingham Forest by 1-0. Ian Storey-Moore, your impressions of what we've seen so far?
Well, I think Manchester United certainly had the better of the opening exchange, and perhaps unfortunate not to be 2 goals ahead in the first 10 minutes. But typically, Forest have clawed themselves back into the game, perhaps reminiscent of the late 1970s when they were winning trophies in Europe and the league championships. They clawed away back into the game, scored a typical goal on the break, and thoroughly deserved the half-time lead.
Which particular players have caught your eye? I know that Forest, with Des Walker at the back, is somebody you admire.
Oh, he's played extremely well. I've never seen the lad have a bad game, actually. He's quietly efficient in everything he does. And he's completely subdued Peter Davenport, who's been extremely disappointing. I saw him play on many occasions for Nottingham Forest, and he looked a far better player there. But probably this is playing against Des Walker, I don't know. Extremely good player, Des.
And Manchester United have been looking a lot towards Jesper Olsen down their left-hand side.
Yes, Jesper's seen a lot of the ball, but I don't think he's perhaps made the best use of it. Jesper has the ability to wrong foot people, I've noticed, in the first half, but he doesn't have that explosive burst to get away from them and consequently get the space to get good crosses into the box. And when he has done, of course, his crossing has left a little bit to be desired. And indeed, Colin Gibson as well. He's made some tremendous forward runs, but the final ball into the box, as I said earlier, has been left a lot to be desired.
Thanks, Ian. No substitutions at half-time. Garton. Wilkinson usually the furthest forward for Forest, with Clough prepared to come and get involved in midfield. Although there's been a lot of talk about Nottingham Forest being downhearted by their defeat at Manchester City on Tuesday, sometimes young players simply get on with the job and don't think too deeply about the effects of one defeat. So far, and still a long way to go in this match, it seems the way with Nottingham Forest. Chettle. Oh, Carl, that was overconfident, really. Caught Clough on the wrong foot, but Manchester United could not capitalise. Maybe now with Olsen. Well, was Davenport, was he backing in or was he pushed? The referee thought maybe there was an infringement by both players and let play go on. Garton. One of the options open to Alex Ferguson is to push Norman Whiteside further and further forward, but Olsen now is away from Chettle. Off the post from Davenport. Whiteside. That is the closest. Peter Davenport, who's not had the best of luck since he's been a Manchester United player, and that would have been a goal of rich satisfaction against Forest. Clough, that's perfect for Carr. The sprinter in full cry. Wilkinson, though, has the check, and there's nobody else up for Forest. Finally now, the other troops have arrived. Rice. Beat Anderson. He's a strange player, really, Brian Rice. At times, he looks weak on the ball and out of place in the First Division, but he's got one or two tricks as befits a Scotsman from Hibs. Here's Robson, and the captain provides some inspiration, as he's done countless times before. But just look at Forest again. Everybody aware of their job when the opposition are in possession. Robson. Here's Moran. But they've stifled them in midfield, and in fact, Forest could have broken them. But Webb wasn't aware what was happening, and here goes Robson. Goal! Skimmed beyond Sutton. Manchester United were in need of a spot of good fortune and some drive, and there's none better at providing the latter than the England captain. But Steve Sutton will be furious with himself. He really ought to have been able to keep the low shot out. An hour played, Manchester United level. And now we do have a different complexion put on the match. Robson. The higher you get in the game, the more the critics will have their say, and there have been one or two in the Manchester area who have felt that Manchester United haven't got the goals from Brian Robson recently that he had been able to contribute in the past, but never rule out great players. And he made some luck there that his team badly needed. Whiteside. So Manchester United have come from behind again, and Robson with the supposed weaker foot. And after this match, let's wrap him up in cotton wool and send him to Yugoslavia. It breaks for Robson. They've got a second bite at it. Whiteside. Oh, they're flying in now. Norman Whiteside. And this time, absolutely no blame attached to Steve Sutton. From the moment that he slipped Chettle, he wasted no time, and that was top locker. 2 goals in 5 minutes, both struck from outside the Nottingham Forest penalty area. And one apiece from 2 of the game's great competitors. Manchester United have clawed their way into the lead. And sometimes, whatever the level of football, if the plan doesn't work out at the start, you just have to graft for it. And really, that's what United have done. Pearce. This is Webb. Wilkinson. Certainly dictated a change of policy from Nottingham Forest now. They can't just rely on the breaks after soaking up pressure. And they've responded well enough, without as yet making a genuine chance to equalise. Stuart Pearce shaping for a long throw. Des Walker, who's never scored. This is actually his 100th league game. He takes quite a lot of ribbing from his teammates about not having contributed at least 1 goal. Norman Whiteside, not fully fit at the start, has certainly done his job. Gordon Strachan comes on for Alex Ferguson. Anderson. Clough going beyond Wilkinson if he could win it. And Kevin Moran came into the back of Paul Wilkinson and away from the ball. There's a little square up. It led to nothing. Forest now have another free kick. Foster's height may be a weapon here for them. And he got his head to it. Walsh had started to come in fact, was caught almost in no man's land. Had Foster been able to give a little bit more direction rather than height to his header, it looped, and Walsh was able to get back and push it over the top. He's in there again. Clough. Pearce. Oh, my word! Manchester United, who've been peppering away at the other end from distance, 2 goals hit with left-footed strikes, but how about this one from Stuart Pearce? .77 minutes. It's 2-2. And what a spectacular display of shooting we've seen in the second half. Foster, who helped make it all possible with his presence at set plays. Olsen. Chettle did well for Forest then. Moran and Wilkinson. It's a duel in which the temperature is rising. And the match is back in the melting pot. And the irony is that Alex Ferguson has made no secret of his admiration for Stuart Pearce. But that admiration there will be tempered with great disappointment. It's pegged Manchester United back. Anderson. I think he was happy to fall, Gordon Strachan. But this is a moment of potential for Manchester United. And perilous, possibly, for Nottingham Forest. If there is to be a 5th goal in the game, there'll be scarcely time to strike back for the team that concedes it. Robson! That's the talent that makes him stand out. Getting in there, even if the header infuriated him. Good tackle by Pearce. Wilkinson. Credit to Nottingham Forest. They don't lack ambition. 2-2 would be a very useful result. But from the moment, really, that Pearce equalised, they've pursued the game and a possible winning goal. But as yet, Clough unable to win it as he did here 2 seasons ago. Walker. We're into stoppage time. Duxbury. Pearce is there again. Strachan has to go in quickly. Chettle, it's not a clearing header. Wilson, Leclerc holding him off. And Webb with a clearance that said everything, really, in the manner it was executed. Just get it away. Strachan. 4 in the middle for Manchester United. And there's a corner if there's time for it to be taken. Robson was just asking the referee how much there was left. Garton. Oh. It's the last action. Brian Robson did spark a second-half revival for Manchester United after they were trailing to Paul Wilkinson's first-half goal. A splendid second for United from Norman Whiteside. But then 13 minutes from time, Stuart Pearce for Forest who bounced back from that Littlewoods Cup flop at Main Road by taking a point away from Old Trafford. Alex Ferguson completes his first year in charge next weekend, and he knows the recipe for success here still needs one or two more ingredients to turn these draws into victories.
Brian, I think one thing that all your fans want to know is it's another drawn game. How disappointing is this for the players, a game where you've been in front?
The players are really disappointed because we're getting far too many draws at the moment. And we know the way that Liverpool and Arsenal are going at the moment. We can't afford to get draws. We've got to win games. So everybody's disappointed in the dressing room. The only consolation we've got is that we've still only been beaten once in the season. But like I say, we've got to start winning games.
The game was looking as though it was going to slip away until you took it by the scruff of the neck, about on the hour.
Yeah, well, we felt like we were doing not bad in the first half. We got into some good positions where if the ball had broke for us, we could have scored. Then Forest caught us on the break, which put them 1-0 up. So at half-time, you know, we're just saying we've got to keep it going, and maybe there's a chance will fall our way. It was nice to see the goal go in, but then I always felt that we were going to dominate the game then, and I thought we would have killed them off and we got the 2-1, but we let them back into the game.
It's the last game before you go to Yugoslavia. Are you in full working order despite the black eye?
The black eye's no problem, it doesn't stop your legs from moving, but no, I'm 100% fit at the moment.
Well, all the best from all of us in Belgrade.
Thanks very much, man.
Just to back up what Brian Robson was saying, this is United's league record as Alex Ferguson's first year in charge at Old Trafford is now completed. And look, as many draws as wins. Well, the team that can't stop winning at the moment is Arsenal. They go top of the table, 1-0 at Newcastle, their latest success. Alan Smith, the scorer. That's 11 straight wins for George Graham's side in League and Cup. Queen's Park Rangers drew at Norwich, a late equaliser from Martin Allen. Pat Nevin got a late winner for Chelsea at home to Oxford. And remember, Liverpool against Everton tomorrow at Anfield. Ian, I think Manchester United and Nottingham Forest are both clubs who start a season with genuine aspirations to win the Championship. It is very early days yet, but from what you've seen this afternoon, do they have sides capable of winning it this year?
Well, I don't think so, no. I've seen Nottingham Forest on a number of occasions this season. I thought perhaps they're just 1 or 2 players short of being Championship contenders. Manchester United is the first opportunity I've had to see them play live. I think perhaps they lack a little bit of flair and perhaps lack a little bit of improvisation that is needed to be genuine Championship contenders. So perhaps they need 2 or 3 players more.
What particular area of Manchester United's play disappointed you?
I think really in the middle of the park, really. I think they're a little bit static in the middle of the park, and I think they perhaps could do with a couple of mobile players to help Brian Robson to be able to get forward a little bit more. I thought he played a little bit of a withdrawn role today, and it wasn't really until the second half that we saw him get him in too many advanced positions.
Well, don't go away, because we've got something that I think will interest you now. We are going to dip into the archives to rediscover the delights of past meetings between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. It's the feature that we call Memory Lane.
Or Cormac. Lobbed forward by Burns, and Best is there under it. And Hindley concedes the first Forest corner. Best to take it. 4 men in the box. Law, Charlton, Kidd and Gowning. And it's in! Dennis Law, I think, just got a touch to that tremendous swinging corner from George Best. Kidd. Law, Best, and Kidd following up. Five minutes to go to half-time. Richardson for Forest. And he won that from Gowling as Gowling showed him the ball. Moore. Sold a good dummy there, and there's that's one for Cormac. So it's Nottingham Forest in the white shirts who get us away in the second half, trailing by 2 goals to 1. And Bobby Charlton here looking for a quick chance to make it 3. Kidd! The substitute O'Neill. And that was a good break. And he scored!
Little tick return ball for Koppel. It ran well for him. It's not a bad ball if Pearson lets it go. Daly! 1-0. Manchester United exploit and exposed Forest then with a devastating quick piece of football. Gemmell loses to McElroy. McGrath going right side for United. The check. Away from Barrett for McElroy. McElroy's right in behind Forest. Good cross. Pearson. Goal! So Forest now gather round the United goalmouth, looking for an equaliser. McGovern with this kick. Short for Gemmell. Drives it. And the chance is there now for Burns. And he's scored. Ken Burns has got the equaliser. 1-1. Robertson. And With has got in behind United. Big long cross. Gemmell. Yes! Archie Gemmell. That was as good a goal as you'll see this season. Beautiful stuff by Forest. That's McCarty getting the ball on to Jordan and stabs it in, and it's a goal. Joe Jordan. The cross. Jordan couldn't get there, and Thomas tries it. And Lou McCarty on the turn. Oh, good one, but Jordan's going to score his second goal. It's 2-0. Mickey Thomas and Ray Wilkins sorting it out between them. And it's Wilkins. And McQueen. Yes! Shilton, absolutely beaten. All ends up by Gordon McQueen. Robertson. Giving a touch off left side to Gray. Good, Wallace. Yes. 1-0, Forest. Jordan aiming for Koppel. Touch for Thomas. Looks useful. That's the goal from Macari, 1-1. Now Thomas. Mills heads out as far as Duxbury. Thomas again. And Koppel's getting there. And Koppel has scored. Two big defenders in a tangle, Lloyd and Needham, and Koppel sliced between them. 2-1 Manchester United.
Moses had to play it quickly before he was flattened from behind by Walsh. Young thought twice, which may have been a mistake, and Whiteside flings himself down, and Mr. Hackett gives the penalty. Stuart Gray was the offender, but Willie Young will take part of the blame. It rests with Steve Koppel. It's 1-0. Swept wide by Robson. Whiteside again using the body to hold off the defender who was Gray, and it's let in. Muren!
Well, Ian, there were some great memories there, but there have been some memories really created today by some spectacular goals. If I asked you to pick the best of the four, which one would you go for?
Most certainly, I think probably two stand out. The one that Stuart Pearce struck to equalise for Forest, and perhaps the one that stands out in my mind, and probably everybody else, is the one that Norman Whiteside struck. I don't think he'll strike a better one all season. Superbly struck and well executed. No chance, the goalkeeper.
Did you ever get one in your career like that?
I think one, yes. Yes, I think players always enjoy them when they see the ball go in the net like that, and they don't come too often, so I hope he has a drink and enjoys it tonight.
Thanks very much for being with us.
You're welcome.
We've got another football special for you next Saturday night.
Testimonial. Nigel Clough putting them ahead after 11 minutes, seemingly embarrassed at spoiling the party. Mick McCarthy equalised for Celtic 12 minutes later, but Clough Jr. restored Forest lead just before half-time. Kenny Dalglish donned the Celtic jersey for the first time in a decade. Forest wrapped it up with a third goal from substitute Gaynor.
Well, they say diamonds are a girl's best friend, and I shan't sing.
Forest, but still went behind 6 minutes before the break to a goal from Terry Wilson. However, when Arsenal were awarded a late penalty, it looked as if Brian Clough's inability to get a Forest win at Highbury would remain the unwritten law of First Division football. But Sansom's kick amply illustrated all that had been wrong with his side's performance. They created plenty of chances, but converted none of them. A minute from the end, Forest assured themselves of the points. Chetle's skill set up a chance for Gaynor. Lukic was adjudged to have brought him down. The Forest fans' early morning journey down the M1 had been worthwhile, as Stuart Pearce showed just how a penalty should be taken. Arsenal 0, Forest 2.